a hefty retracement. A secondary low on a level that usually isn't that important, the 161, and that's basically where we're at with things right now. Coming down to maybe make a 3 drives pattern. We do have an ability to draw a trend in. We're not too far away from it, but I am looking at the 261 and not really aggressive with it. 227's not been incredibly common level, but we did just come back to attack the 188 from the underside. Yeah, like I said, at the 188, I'm not interested in it reversing upwards. You know, it hasn't made any kind of 3 drives pattern, hasn't made any kind of reversal pattern. The closest thing it is a 5-wave move from the triangle, basically sitting at a 188, which isn't working too well. What we do have there, though, is at the 261, there's a 141. Okay, that's actually interesting. Okay, so the 261 and the 141, where do they say they'll go? The 261 says it'll go to here. The 141 says it'll go to here. They're both saying the exact same level. The strange thing about it is these two areas, they can work as a zone. You know, like the 141, 127 area that is responsible for getting us back to the 61. And like where we've come back to right now is like a small B point. And that's where we're chilling right now. So this, it does remind me a lot about the video that I made yesterday. B point actually has already been filled. This area has also been cleared. I'm going to take that off. This is a 61. Could it lead to another 61? Like if it did, it's very important to check, because what if your stop is anywhere above where the trend broke? You know that the 61 is exactly lining up with where the trend is broken. B point has been cleared. So there is no target that has been left untested today, no B point that has been left unhit. Like every single B point that is on this screen, can anybody find one? Actually right here, one. This one, the only one I can see untested. This B point is not hit, the one that we were talking about. The other B point, anybody that's taken a trade to it, making sure that you're paid at the target. We have left another B point above, so anybody that's not acknowledging the fact that the majority of the profit to that target can be taken back by the next target could be off the 61 that we get there, but that is a point that's left untested, and put fibs on it. That those fibs can also work hand in hand with getting back to that target. Right now we're at the 261. The 61 would be closer to the 300% retracement. That's the 61 and the 300 getting hit very clearly. Beautiful response to the 61 and the 300. Not sure how anyone doesn't have enough profit to take off on a candle like that. Then you can secure a stop that's profitable, but you can also split it up so that some's at the bottom. If you want to be able to keep some exposure for sure, you can make sure that you've taken off enough in the name of having exposure, because exposure could be worth 200 points. I'm like, to be paid 50 points, the other contract might be worth 200. You keep it with a stop at the extreme. It means that you don't have to take another risk to get exposure again, and you've been paid. So you don't have to be trying 61. You don't have to take another risk. So it's about managing your exposure, managing your profit. Can you take off enough profit to keep your exposure? Or when your stop gets hit, is your account going to be affected negatively? You know, that's unacceptable. So you have to take off even more profit to make sure that what you're holding is absolutely safe if it's worthless. Because like, let's say for instance, if you took, you know, 3 contracts and, you know, you've secured, let's say $100 on the 2 contracts and they're gone, like completely sold them. And, you know, you've got another one that's worth $100 as well. If it goes to 0, how much are you left with? Well, $200. Literally, you've secured the $200. What is this? It's dead to you if it's not worth 1,000. And you're keeping it because it avoids you from having to take another risk where you might lose money. Where you've locked in 200 already because you've been paid twice on 2 contracts. It managed to come from the 61 to the 61. What would it look like if it did it again? It would be the B point. Are you kidding me? All the way up there would be the next 61. And what's funny is if we did it again after that, then it's telling us that anyone that buys above this point right here could get easily wiped out by the next 61. Any stops that are ever dragged into this area could easily get wiped out. Very clear cut. 261 has almost led us back to the next 61 and to the only other B point. Early in the morning, I remember that it struggled to get all the way to the 61. Yeah, this is terrible news in my opinion. The way that he's talking about it right now, not good. Like, there's going to be inflation and he doesn't know what the monetary policy should be for this because he doesn't know how it's going to play out, and he's sitting there hoping as well, it sounds like.
It sounds like he knows what's going to go on.
Doesn't sound like he knows.
You could say that it's, you know, we're going to run into inflation down there. It's kind of obvious.
Well, he doesn't know how the tariffs are going to impact America positively. He's not even talking about long-term things are going to be better. He doesn't say that.
Nope.
He doesn't. He never said that this will have a long-term positive impact on America.